right here. Let me go over to my screen share. So there's two types of audiences that you have in any business. There's going to be a cold audience, and a cold audience is people that have never heard of you before, people that have never seen your brand, they've never come across any of your content, they've just never heard of you, they don't know who you are, they don't know you from Adam. Now, most lawyers in the United States are I would consider a cold audience. Most lawyers actually, believe it or not, even though I do a ton of advertising, most lawyers do not know who I am. And so that's a cold audience. It's people that don't know me, they don't trust me, they don't know about the content that I create, they haven't watched any of my videos, they've never been to my website, they've never done anything, they've never heard of me. So that's the cold audience. So for me, the best customers that I have are from a warm audience. Now, a warm audience are people who they've watched my videos, they've seen my content, maybe they're in my Facebook group, maybe they've gone to my website, maybe they've read my book, maybe they've done all that type of stuff. So the goal of everything that I do is I want to convert this cold audience into a warm audience. Now, how do I do that? Well, what I do is I basically run Facebook ads that are targeting just the cold audience. So what I'm doing right now is I'm doing a little bit of a test campaign, and I took about 10 videos that I have, 10 value videos, and I put them all in a campaign, and I'm showing them only to a cold audience. And what I'm actually doing is I'm actually excluding the warm audience. So basically, if you have ever heard of me, if you've ever watched my videos, if you've ever gone to my websites, if you've done anything like that, I'm completely excluding you. So these ads are only running to a warm or to a cold audience. So what I'm doing is I created a custom audience that is consisting of people that watch 25% of any of my videos that I'm showing to this cold audience. So this is 25% video view. Now, some of my videos are 10, 15 minutes long. This audience is consisting of lawyers because I do really good targeting, and I'm only targeting lawyers. So let's do lawyers. So what ends up happening is I'm now showing several videos that are high value. They're not pitching anything. They're not selling anything. They're just providing value to a cold audience who's never heard of me. And I'm keeping track of people that watch 25% of my videos. So what that means is that, if it's a 5-minute video, that means they've watched 1 minute and 15 seconds. If it's a 10-minute video, they've watched 2.5 minutes or more. It's just 25% or more. So on the internet, that is an absolute eternity. So what that means is that's enough time for them to switch from a cold audience to a warm audience. So what my goal is to take as many people in a cold audience as possible and convert them into a warm audience. And the reason that I want to do that is because when I have people that are a warm audience, they're much more receptive to advertising, and they're much more likely to hire me and want to hire my firm and want to buy my products and do all that type of stuff. It's so much easier to sell to a warm audience than it is to a cold audience. So what does this mean for you? I mean, yeah, it's great that I get to warm up this audience and they'll buy more stuff from me. But how does that help you? Well, it's the same concept. Basically, I'm targeting lawyers. So as you can see in my warm audience here, or my cold audience here, I'm doing targeting that is focusing on lawyers. So maybe you're focusing on, maybe you're a family law attorney and you're focusing on parents. If that's the case, then what you want to do is you want to do really good targeting that is providing value to parents. And you'll provide, you're figuring out what are let's see if I move that up a little bit. I got cut off. Let's see. So basically what you want to do is you want to provide content to a cold audience, And you just want to do video views, by the way. That's the other side of this. You're not trying to run traffic. You're not trying to do anything. You're running it as a video view campaign. So take 4 or 5 videos that are high value, that provide a lot of value to the type of people that you're trying to target. So for example, if you're trying to target parents who are considering divorce, then what you want to do is you want to provide 4 or 5 pieces of content that target parents and show them, and just provide value. Show them how much value you have, and you want to run that to a cold audience. You want to exclude everyone that's ever been to your website. You want to exclude everyone that's interacted with your Facebook page or your ads. You want to exclude everyone that has ever engaged with your Facebook page, anything like that. And that way, you're running it to a cold audience. Then what you want to do is you want to keep track of the people that watch 25% of that 25% of that content, because those are the people that are actually interested, because they're interested because if the video is 4 or 5 minutes long on social media, that is an absolute eternity. There's no way they would watch the video if they were not if they weren't interested. And then at that point, now that they're warmed up, then you can start showing them downloads and cheat sheets and all that type of stuff. So this is a strategy that I'm just testing right now. But so far, I'm pretty excited because it's actually working really well. I'm pretty excited how to do it. Now, a little bonus content here. Let's say you want to create these value videos, but you have no idea what to actually create content on. Well, here is the easiest way to create content. So you're going to draw a chart, and the chart is going to have 3 columns in it. So the first one is going to be problems. The second column is going to be solutions. And the third column is going to be story. So now what you want to figure out is what are all of the problems that people that are your ideal clients typically have. So, if you're going after parents, maybe what you can do is maybe one of the problems is that they don't want to alienate their kids. So they don't want to hurt kids. So hurt kids. And that's why they don't actually want to get a divorce. They want to stay together for the kids. They're miserable in the marriage, but they want to get a divorce. So what you want to do, and typically the solution is that you need to show them that there actually is a benefit to getting a divorce, rather than having a situation where the kids are stuck in a house where the adults are always unhappy and everyone's always fighting. You can actually show the benefit that of getting a divorce for a child. So the solution is actually get a divorce. But what you can do is you need a story. You can figure out a story that basically will solve their problem and discuss the solution. So let's say you have a client, or maybe it's not even a client, maybe it's a client or a hypothetical client or something like this, but a story about how you had a client and they were worried about getting they were worried about hurting their kids in the divorce. But then once they actually got divorced, what ended up happening was their kids ended up getting more quality time with each parent. The kids were actually happier. They did start doing better in school because of the fact that they weren't in an environment that's always tense. Kids can sense all that type of stuff. So, what you want to do is you want to tell a story that actually illustrates that solution. So, and you can say it was a specific client of yours. So the story would be, more quality time story. And it's really important that you actually have a story to go along with each of these, because if you just say, a lot of times people don't want to get divorced because they don't want to hurt their kids. Well, if you think about it, the parents are, kids are more likely to be happy in an environment where the kids aren't always where the parents aren't always fighting, and they're going to get more quality time with the parents, and they're when the adults are happier, the kids are happier. But if instead you said, I had a client named Jill, and she was really worried because she had two kids, a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old, and her husband were getting ready to get divorced, or they knew their marriage was over, but they didn't want to alienate the kids, so they decided they were going to stick it out, and they were going to just fight through and just stay together for the kids, but they knew their marriage really wasn't going to make it, and eventually they really decided they couldn't do it anymore. And as soon as they were able to go their separate ways, Jill and her husband were actually both much happier. And as a result, her kids actually were happier. They actually started doing better in school. They actually had a lot more energy. They weren't playing on their iPads as much. And it was as a result of kids feed off of your energy. If the adults are always miserable, if there's always tension, and that's actually what Jill told me, is that now she gets so much more quality time with her kids because, she actually can enjoy the time with her kids. So do you see what I'm saying? Where you kind of go that way, you tell a story about it, and it makes for a much better, video and a much better situation when you can actually create a story that supports the problem. So and talks about the solution. So if you go back to this, what you can do is create 4 or 5 videos that tell stories that offer solutions to their problems, and then create a custom audience that will actually track the people that watch 25% of those videos, and then turn them into a warm audience, and then you can start pushing more and more content to them, and it works really, really well so far. I've been doing it for a couple of days, and I'm really happy with the results so far. So if you have any questions about this, if you need any help with this, let me know. But I figured I'd share this, and as I continue to get more data on this and get more results with this, I will definitely update this video. But if you have any questions in the meantime, ask in the comments, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.